Hi guys, and welcome to my WWE Payback 2020 prediction video. Unfortunately, no Callum with me today. He's busy, unfortunately, so it's just gonna be me today. I can't remember the last time I did a prediction video for the main roster on my own this year, because I've always had Callum with me and Laura for Summerslam. I think it was a Elimination Chamber. I think so. Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, I'm back very quickly after SummerSlam. Yes, with Payback, which is a week after SummerSlam, which I don't understand, but whatever. Yeah, we only have 4 matches on the card, but so I'm just gonna. It won't be a too long prediction video. So of course, this is the first Payback we've had in I think three years. Yeah, the last Payback we had was 2017. So yeah, it's been a few years since we last had Payback, but they've brought it back for 2020, a week after SummerSlam. I have 4 matches on the card currently. I'm sure a few more will be added, maybe on SmackDown tomorrow night, but I just wanted to get this, do it quickly before, it's too late. To the first match, yes, we have a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. Apollo Crews defending his belt up against Bobby Lashley. So yeah, Apollo Crews successfully defended the belt against MVP at SummerSlam on the pre-show. And Apollo's had quite a bit of a decent reign with the US Championship. He's been feuding with the Hurt Business for a while now. He's been going up against MVP, Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. And here we are. This is now Bobby Lashley's turn to win the belt. So, and now Bobby Lashley's getting a chance. And I've got to say, I think this is where they're going to end Apollo Crews' US Championship run. And I think Bobby Lashley's going to be the one to beat him, sadly. Yeah, I think Bobby Lashley's probably going to win this, sadly. I'm not too disappointed I won't be too disappointed if Apollo loses, because Apollo's had a decent run with the US Championship. He's had it for what, 3.5 months. So yeah, that's a decent run. He's had several defenses. He's had 2 defenses on pay-per-view pre-shows and a few defenses on SmackDown. So yeah, and he'll always be the first person to hold the new version of the new US title. So they'll never be able to take that away from him. But yeah, I think this will be a good 10-12 minute match. I think they'll probably get, because they are quite similar in styles and size. I know Lashley's a bit bigger, but it should be a good match. But I think probably Lashley's going to win. He might even cheat. He might even MVP and Shelton Benjamin might come out and distract Apollo. And then boom, Lashley hits a spear. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, sadly, as much as I love Apollo, he's one of my bays. I think this is where they're going to take the belt off him. And I think they're going to push this Hurt Business faction with Bobby Lashley becoming the new United States champion. Yeah, sad, but although Apollo, maybe Apollo retains and it gets carried on to Clash of Champions. We will see, yeah. Okay, on to the next match. Yes, we have a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Yes, we have Bayley and Sasha Banks defending their belts, going up against the new team of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Yes, so this happened on Raw, where Shayna and Nia, Shayna and Nia have been fighting for weeks on Raw Underground. They've been brawling on Raw, and now the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Is the saying, because now they're putting their differences aside and going up against Bayley and Sasha after they had a little bit of a scuffle on Raw with Sasha and Bayley. So, and yeah, and Bayley and Sasha now got to defend the tag team belts. And of course, after what happened at SummerSlam, we know the tensions are starting to mount now between Bayley and Sasha, with Sasha losing the Raw Women's belt, partly to Bayley's accidental interference. So there's a bit of tension now between the two, and I think it's going to continue here. I think Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are going to win the women's tag team belts. Yeah, I think Bayley and Sasha are going to lose the belts here, and I think it's all going to culminate to a big title match between Bayley and Sasha. Maybe at Clash of Champions or Hell in a Cell. Or, I don't know. We will see. But I think this is definitely going to continue here. The downfall now of Bayley and Sasha as a team. So I think there's going to be some miscommunication towards the end, and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax take advantage and get the win. Maybe Bayley takes the pin this time, because Sasha took the pin at SummerSlam. So yeah, and then they're both angry at each other now. So yeah, but I'm going to go Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax to win, because I actually think they'd be quite a good tag team together. They'd be very dominant. You've got Shayna's precision and deadly accuracy. I mean, going up against Nia Jax's just brute strength. I think they'll be a very good tag team together. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So yeah, I've got them to beat Bayley and Sasha, and the tension continues to mount with Bayley and Sasha heading towards Clash of Champions in September. Yeah. Then on to the next match. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. Yes, we have my boy Keith Lee making his main roster pay-per-view debut match, going up against Randy Orton. Yes, so of course Keith Lee lost the NXT Championship to Karrion Kross at TakeOver 30, and then actually a few days later he makes his debut on Raw, and yeah, I thought his debut on Raw was pretty good, even though they've changed his theme and they've changed his ring attire, which I'm not a big fan of at all. But you know, you can tell they are quite big behind Keith Lee, because he was in a segment with Randy Orton, and he's I think they've already put him in this bit feud with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. He had a match with Randy Orton. They cut a promo on each other, and yeah, I think obviously they had a match on Raw, but then Drew got involved, so it ended in DQ. But then, of course, because Randy kept hitting punt kicks on Drew all over Raw, and Drew got sent off to a hospital, Keith Lee wants to get his payback on Randy, because him and in kayfabe, Keith Lee and Drew are quite good friends, and outside in real life too. And yeah, we've got the rematch here on this weekend, and what a first match for Keith Lee on a pay-per-view against Randy Orton. So you can tell they are behind Keith Lee, and I love Keith Lee. He's one of my lower tier bays. I've loved him in NXT, and I really do hope they do not ruin him on the main roster. But you know, his first pay-per-view match, he's only been on the main roster for a week, and he's facing Randy Orton. You can tell they're behind him, because you know, facing Randy Orton. Randy Orton's probably the biggest. He's the biggest heel in the company right now. So yeah. And I'm gonna go. It's tough, this one, because Randy obviously just lost to Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, but I don't think Keith Lee should lose his first pay-per-view match when he's only been on the main roster for a week. So I'm gonna go with the big boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Keith Lee to beat Randy Orton. But I do think there's gonna be some interference. I think Drew McIntyre is gonna get involved. You know, because he'll want payback too after all those punt kicks on Raw. So I think Drew McIntyre's going to get involved. He might distract Randy, and then Keith Lee hits the Spirit Bomb or the Ground Zero to get the win. But I think it's going to be a really good match. I think this could be like a 10, 15, 20 minute battle between Keith Lee and Randy Orton. And I love Keith Lee, and I really want to see him get a big push. But he already is. You know, he's already involved in this feud of Drew and Randy, and maybe this gets continued at Clash of Champions. Maybe it's a triple threat at Clash of Champions. Imagine that. Randy, Keith Lee, and Drew McIntyre for the title. Oh yes. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Keith Lee to get the win here. It's his first match, and then the feud gets continued with Randy, Drew, and maybe Keith Lee too for Clash of Champions. Yeah. Oh, and then on to what I assume will be the main event. Oh boy. Yes, so we have a no-holds-barred triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship. Yes, we have my boy, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, the new Universal Champion, of course, after he beat Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. Now he's a two-time Universal Champion. Yes, going up against Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Oh, God. So, yeah, Roman Reigns came back at SummerSlam, hit a spear on The Fiend before he could even celebrate. Took all the momentum away from The Fiend, and he speared Braun. And yeah, I thought this was what was going to happen, and they've announced it. Oh boy, yeah. Now Roman Reigns, he's only been back for a week, and he's already got a big match, a big title match. I know he was due a title match at WrestleMania, but he pulled out. But the way he got that match in the first place, when he was facing Goldberg, was bullshit. He went up to Goldberg and went, "I'm next," and got the match. So I didn't agree with it back then, and I don't agree with it now, how he's just suddenly got a title match. It's ridiculous. He's been back a week. And yeah, and also I think it's looking very, very likely that Roman Reigns is going to win, because he was going to win the belt at WrestleMania. He was going to beat Goldberg. We all knew it was going to happen. And yeah, I think it's looking very likely. They're only going to give The Fiend a 1 week reign as Universal Champion. For fuck's sake, man. But the only silver lining I can think of is if Roman pins Braun. Yeah. Then the Fiend doesn't take a clean pin. The Fiend gets protected. That's the only way I'll be happy with the outcome. Because or you could just let the Fiend retain, you know, but I can't see it happening. No. I think Roman's going to win. It's his first match back in like, what, 5 months. He's gonna win. I know there's a big contract signing tomorrow on SmackDown. That should be fun, but yeah, I'm going with Roman Reigns to win the Universal Championship. My heart is screaming, the Fiend to retain. You don't even fucking won it at SummerSlam. But no, I think my head's saying they're just going to give it to Roman. I said I was going to have a rant when Roman wins, but you know what? I'm not. I'm just going to be disappointed because I had all my rants and my disappointment when they buried the Fiend at Super Showdown. But like I said, as long as Roman pins Braun, I will not be that disappointed because whatever. The only thing I don't get is why give the Fiend 1 week as Universal Champion? 1 week? Just why didn't they just have it end in a no contest at SummerSlam? Keep it on Braun for another week and then Roman beats Braun. I just don't get why give the Fiend 1 week as Universal Champion. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, you never know. The Fiend could retain, maybe, but I just can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. So yeah, I think it should be a really good match though. No holds barred triple threat match. You know, Braun, Roman, and the Fiend. It should be a good match. But I think it's already set in stone that Roman's going to win. But let me say, if Roman does win and he does pin the Fiend, that I will be pissed off then. I will be pissed off. But right now, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win. And please just let him pin Braun Strowman and the Fiend gets protected. Oh, man. Oh, God. They're going to give the Fiend 1 week as Universal Champion. God, man. That was my Payback prediction video. Very short, as I said, only 4 matches on the card right now. But it's this Sunday, so I wanted to get it out a few days before the show. So what else could be announced on the card? We might get a match with Jeff Hardy defending his IC Championship, maybe a rematch against AJ. We might get a match with Shinsuke and Cesaro defending their tag team belts. We might get a match with the Street Profits. I don't know. We will see. We will see. And they teased something, didn't they, with Mickie James and Natalya. Maybe we'll get Mickie James and Natalya. I don't know. But whatever. So yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on Payback this weekend? Comment below. Let me know. Please, I'm begging them. Please let the Fiend win. Who am I kidding? So thank you for watching, guys. And my upcoming schedule is I'll be back on Monday with my Payback review. Then I'll probably take a few weeks off maybe, and then I'll be back that week on the weekend with James and Callum for my Premier League prediction video for the upcoming season, and then I'll probably be back with Callum in September for my Clash of Champions prediction video because I believe that's the next pay-per-view in September. Yeah. So thank you for watching, guys, and yeah, see you later. Roman, let him in.